Okay, I'm live with you. Is are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh, 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 good morning. This lovely second day of November 2024. And I play. The year is coming to an end. Good morning. Welcome to the Vintage Talk Show with the Fudge. Wherever you are listening to us on Top Radio 90.9 FM or watching us on YouTube or Facebook, you are welcome. Well, today is going to be interesting. We have our long lost brother back in the house. It will be a very interesting show. And my name, as you may know, is Femi Akintunde-Johnson. My friends call me Faj. And my my assistant is here. I was going to mention my wife's name. I beg your pardon. Always beside me in the studio. Well, more often than not, it's a dark and lovely. Esife Arogundade. Good morning, Esife.
Good morning to everybody. Welcome to a lovely day. Welcome to another beautiful day. Flow with us today as we give you a full sweet day.
Flow with us today. A sweet, good day. Look at the keywords. Okay, so mind that. It should surely happen. Okay, so I left this man to the last so we can talk and find out what has been happening to him. We haven't seen him in some weeks. Good morning, Mr. T Tokumo Ojekunle. Good morning this morning.
Good morning, Faj. Good morning, everybody in diaspora in Lagos, Nigeria. Apologies for staying away for a while. It's just been a very interesting period where things have been happening and you have to move with the flow. So, Faj, I apologize.
Yeah, Mr. T is in the glow with the first flow. So we are moving on a slow, on a slow. We'll get his voice back. Okay, you're back. There was a
I'm back.
joke there.
I need to.
Okay, great. Great. On the Vintage Talk Show, we always speak truth to power and we shine light on dark spots as best as we can. I hope you join us. Let the lights shine brighter so we can expose all the exposables and it will be well with our nation. Okay, as usual, I will be kicking off with a word from our ancestors. And I quote: If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm. Mm. If there is no enemy within the house, your household, the enemy outside can do no harm. Mm. Yoruba have this on a lockdown. You know, if you don't understand the spiritual realm of it, it you know the extreme end is when you say because of the madness outside that you keep your own madman at home on leash in case of you will need emergency reaction and all that. But if we are united as a nation, as a people, as a family, it will be very difficult for an outsider, anyone outside of the circle of our relationship, to cause disruption or to harm us in any way. So let's put that in mind. Be your brother's keeper, be your neighbor's helper, so that the enemy outside will not do any harm. Okay. As usual, we'll be starting with starters, what we call appetizers, Nigerian entertainment news, global trends, and reviews of major newspaper headlines before we launch into what we hope will be some kind of point blank discussing the state of the nation. And then we'll probably wrap up the show with Let's Rewind, a review of chatbusters of yesteryears. So we'll start first and foremost with the current, the contemporary news of Nigerian entertainment. Esife, are you ready for us?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, let's shoot.
My ordeal with police in 2021 took my fear away, Mr. Macaroni.
Hmm.
Nigerian comedian, content creator, and actor Adebowale Adedayo, popularly known as Mr. Macaroni, has shared how his experience with the Lagos police following his arrest during the occupied Lekki toll gate protest in 2021 has instilled a sense of fearlessness in him. Mr. Macaroni was one of 40 individuals arrested for allegedly violating COVID-19 protocols regarding public gatherings. In a recent interview, recounted being stripped naked and molested by police officers who he claimed took pleasure in his suffering. He also alleged that the police warned him to stop disturbing certain individuals, suggesting that he was being targeted for his activism. Despite this ordeal, Mr. Macaroni stated that the experience has made him more fearless and determined to use his platform to advocate for the oppressed.
Well, that's good. All well and good to speak for the voice, to have a voice for the voiceless. In
Yes.
your fearlessness, just use common sense. Apply wisdom. Nobody is so angry with the train that engage it in head-on collision. That would be disastrous. Abby.
Yes.
Okay, and forces, men of the forces, of the armed forces, should be wary of how they deal with civilians. We we are taxpayers. We pay tax. So somehow we are your salary payers. It's nice to be nice to people that you are sworn to protect and to preserve. So be gentle. Let's learn some a PR kind of a thing. Let's have some uh, a sense of well-being and good neighborliness with your charge. Please uh, do not torture, make fun while exacting pain on the citizenry. We are all Nigerians. We should be our brothers' keepers. No one wants to die needlessly, except it's a criminal offense. Even then, until the court says this is guilty, and then apply the normal course of justice. Don't brutalize. Don't engage in corporal, self-inflicted corporal punishment and all that. Let's be civil. I beg you. Okay.
Kunle Afod renovates Lere Paimo's house ahead of his 85th birthday. Filmmaker and actor Kunle Afod has renovated the home of veteran actor Lere Paimo, also known as Baba Onile, in celebration of Lere Paimo's 85th birthday and Kunle Afod's recent 51st birthday on 24th October. Afod decided to surprise the veteran actor by transforming his old house in Ogbomoso, his hometown. Afod inspires, "My team and I came together to transform Pa Lere Paimo's house from an old school setting to a modern one," he shared on Instagram. A video showcasing the impressive renovation process has surfaced online, generating widespread admiration from fans and industry colleagues alike. The clip captures the emotional moment when Lere Paimo entered his newly renovated home, looking genuinely surprised by the transformation. Kunle Afod also presented a substantial sum of money to Pa Lere Paimo as part of the surprise.
Oh,
So,
that's
so
so
wow,
nice.
lovely.
wow. That's so
Nice.
So lovely.
lovely.
This is the wrong script. This is not my script. This is your original. Check it. Check it. Check it. Yes, the moniker is actually a Dauniliola. You know,
Mhm.
fantastic actor, and I've been watching him. Mr. T, I'm sure you also have a similar
Yeah,
experience watching him since I was a kid. And he's always
yeah.
been very. He's always been old.
70s. From the
He has,
70s. And
he has always
lovely,
been too
lovely,
old. Oh my! So he has always
lovely.
been playing chiefly roles, fairy
Yeah.
roles. Oh, I've been saying,
Yes,
And
yes.
and highly comical as well. Very comical.
very,
The roles
and
are so beautiful.
the twist of language, Yoruba,
Oh,
you will
she's lovely.
enjoy Yoruba when Eda begins to spin this thing out. Oh, you regular Lagos guys, you feel so incompetent.
Very,
You feel
very
so
incompetent.
awkward. The proficiency he speaks. Oh my. He's a wonderful actor. 85 or thereabout. Wow. Good
And I
for
thank God for Afford's life. He is
and
done a
yes,
wonderful thing. He and his
thank you
crew, oh, nothing
so
beats
much. It was
such
a
blessings. Yeah, nothing
love
beats such blessings.
coming. You will even live longer with joy and that kind
Yes,
of thing. And
yes.
blessings will come upon you.
Hmm.
Similar child doing stuff like that for the elderly and the vulnerable
Hmm.
amongst us. Good. God bless you.
Most songs today lack lyrical depth and substance. Boy, popular singer Wiz Ofuchia, also known as Boy, has expressed concerns regarding the decline in lyrical quality in contemporary Nigerian music. Renowned for his hit songs like Screensaver, Boy shared his thoughts during an interview, emphasizing the lack of depth in many modern songs. Reflecting on current trends, Boy stated, I've cried the most tears about this last. Not every song has to be lyrically deep, and that's okay. Some songs are just for the moment, fun and vibes, but music is much more than that. It's like a Swiss Army knife when it comes to affecting human emotions. It serves as a tool for inspiring, educating, encouraging, and uplifting people. The singer noted that his song Fly Away is inspired by profound themes celebrating love and inner beauty. Fly Away comes from a place of pure thoughts, celebrating and reaffirming my belief in love and appreciating a woman's beauty inside and out, he explained.
Well, congratulations to him. And he has truth in what he has said. That is,
Hmm.
I mean, substance is it's a challenge for most of our artists, but it is what it is. Uh, I don't think many of people consuming these things also want something that has substance. They just want to dance. You hear
Just
some
want to
kids
dance and sing. Yeah,
it's something that is maybe anti-feminism, maybe something sexualizing women, and it'll be. I mean, this is a girl singing. I said, "Do you listen to the lyrics you are singing?" I said, "Yes."
they don't.
Do you understand? Yes, and you're okay with it. It's music.
No, no, you know what they say, Fa? They say it's the current thing, is the happening thing.
It's the
They
right
tell
one.
you it's the happening thing.
Oh, yeah,
Like
open.
120. This is what I have.
I changed this thing. I did change. Okay, go on. Okay, Tifa, do we still have more?
Yes. I will never offer free service to my state, Ngozi Nwosu. Veteran Nollywood actress Ngozi Nwosu has shared her experiences regarding the lack of support she received from her home state of Abia during her battle with a kidney-related illness. Due to the Abia State government inaction, the 61-year-old actress has vowed not to offer her services to the state for free. In an interview with Nollywood on radio, Nwosu expressed her disappointment and anger over the situation. She revealed that a fan helped connect her with the Lagos State government, highlighting that her fame played a crucial role in her recovery. Nwosu began her acting career in Yoruba language films before making her breakthrough in Igbo language film Living in Bondage, which is regarded as the starting point of the old video era in Nigerian cinema.
Ngozi,
Hmm.
Madam Peace. It's always
And
quarrel.
I'm pleased. Yeah.
On and off. But indeed, she really suffered during that period.
Hmm.
Where I remember
Mm.
interviewing her in 2017, 16, and and she mentioned the same thing. The angst has always been there. Sense of betrayal, a sense of being abandoned. But that's life. Yeah. Yorubas will say by conjula more. It's in
Hmm.
adversity that you appreciate. I mean, you understand who is your friend, and making choices. It's human nature. When you are making it, they will be around you. When you are not doing it well as you should be, they will not be around you. They'll flock to where there is honey. It's a natural thing. Don't feel bad about it.
Mm.
If
But
it
but
comes to
but
help,
Fudge, Fudge.
yeah, I hear you,
Hello, Fudge.
sir.
I believe that Ngozi happens to be, to my left, my understanding, an ambassador of some sort for a state. And I think a state government should have stepped into a case, and for her to have singled out Lagos State, um, having coming out to help her at that period, it smacks a lot on the other state, particularly our state of origin. I believe that all state governors or governments should begin to understand that these are local icons, represent their states, and they should be assisted one way or the other. I understand the aspect of friends and all, they run away from you, but the state government understanding the fact that this person holds an ambassadorial searchlight on a state that they control, step out and help her. And philanthropists there as well can step out and help. We have so many of these cases now, Faj, and it's quite worrying for me. And nobody seems to care about them. So it's not right, I think.
Well, thank God she has fame to help her spur people to help. What about those
Mhm.
who don't? Nobody knows them, and they're in the same state, and they could contribute to the welfare of the state. We just take it as life comes. If they do, good. If they don't, don't say you will never do something. You're a human being. There are people who are
Mhm.
promised country. If somebody will win election, now they
Mhm.
can't leave that country because in the heat of the moment they made the promise and all that. But it's human nature. You get disappointment, you get help. Sometimes help come from very unusual places. The ones
No,
you
no.
get,
Yeah.
you know, just flow with the flow, with the glow, and whatever. You should don't keep anything in mind against either an entity or a non-entity. You know. Okay. Do we see have more?
Yes,
Okay.
over 45 million naira royalties distributed at AVRS AGM. The Audiovisual Rights Society of Nigeria recently held its 8th annual general meeting at the zone on Gbagada Expressway, Lagos. A statement released on Wednesday, 30th October, outlined the agenda, which included four key issues: the approval of financial statements, a review of auditor engagement, board elections, and authorization for royalty distribution.
Mm.
Approval was granted for the distribution of royalties in accordance with Article 16 of the Society's Memorandum and Articles of Association. The statement indicated that Chairman Mahmood Ali Balogun reported over 45 million naira in royalties had been distributed to members with verified account information between January 2023 and March 2024. In attendance were returning AVRS directors such as Sonny Moazu, Jide Kosoko, Mona Lisa Chinda, and other notable figures from the film industry, including Zeb Ejiro and Emeka Osai.
Wow. That's the first time I'm hearing that the audiovisual, the Nollywood industry will be paying royalties. It's very nice.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's 45. Yes. Because will be making Shakara with 100 something million, 200 something million. At least that is something. It is
It is
something.
something.
Congratulations, Mahmoud Ali Balogun and his director, I mean, co-directors and all that. Well done. Well done. I'm sure by in the next 5, 6 years, we'll be talking about 200 million, 300 million, and all that. You know, and all these artists will stop raising funds for one issue or the other, and causing donor lethargy amongst the
Mhm.
Nigerian lovers of their work. Because sometimes it gets saturated, and so many people that need help. So many, so many. Because at the point you now need to prioritize and all that, and it's not as if they hate you. There are too many. They have their own individual problems, and they also will have asked for help if they if they could,
They
So
could.
the people
Yeah.
that also need help, but they can't just tell you that, you know. So it'd be nice to have such how do I call it, landing nets or soft landing nets that your station can help with. Do we still have any more? Sifra?
Yes, we have one more.
Okay.
Agbako dies at 101.
Ooh.
Veteran
Mm.
actor Abdulsalam Sonyaolu, popularly known as Charles Olumo or Agbako, has passed away. The news was announced by Bolaji Amusan, also known as Mr. Latin, the president of the Theatre Arts and Motion Pictures Practitioners Association of Nigeria, in an Instagram post on Thursday, 31st October. In his message, he wrote, as Tampan Global announces the passing of Pa Charles Olumo Sonyaolu, fondly known as Agbako. Details of the burial arrangements will be shared at a later time. Good night, Father. 25th February 1923 to 31st October 2024. Nollywood actor Jide Kosoko also confirmed Agbako's passing, stating, "Good night, Baba Charles, aka Agbako, 101 years, rest in peace."
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. I didn't
Wow,
even know
that's
that they
yeah.
could
It
get
was that
the
old.
exact birth day, as in February 20 something,
25th February.
February 25th, then the
Yeah.
5th of February, 2023. Woo, I didn't know that we had a structured birth control and birth registration situation at that time that would be so exact, 101 years after. Oh, wow.
Mm.
And it didn't look that old.
No, he didn't.
I
He
mean,
didn't look it.
I saw, maybe it's about a decade ago or so. It was quite agile. And
He was.
we are seeing are not current ones. But I mean, I'm talking about 9, 10 years ago. That would be around 90 something. He didn't look 90 that time. Wow. What a fairy actor. Always speaking some grammatical nonsense as
But Fudge, they were making sense because he would transliterate, and that's the whole back of it. He would transliterate in a way that you won't miss it.
yeah, fantastical, nonsensical. He will just say some but it was an interesting character. It was an interesting character.
Yeah.
May he find rest. May his spirit find rest.
Man.
At least it's a little bit less painful when someone lives that old. We don't want young people dying and all that. It's not as if we are praying for old people to die too, but it's less mournful, so to speak. We celebrate his life. He has lived 100. I mean, 98% of us may not live up to that year. It's a glorious exit. To be in Nigeria and live up to 101. Wow. He deserves
In
a
Nigeria,
posthumous.
yeah?
Yeah, in Nigeria.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
And in a rough and tumble world of entertainment and movie making, it's a tough thing. It's a tough world.
Yeah.
It's a tough world. Well, we commiserate with the family, friends, and admirers of Charles Olumo Agbako. Even the name, the name is frightening. Nobody
You know what,
wants
Fudge? Agbako Bani. You know another thing I'm looking at. When these old people pass, I wonder, did he ever win an award? Was he really ever recognized? These things hit me sometimes, Fudge.
Especially the kind of roles it played, mostly part roles. I don't think he played any lead role that many. Maybe there's a period in the 80s or late 70s when we had a lot of war plays and all that. He could, be a me or a what's it called? um, all these heroes and all that. It could be, you know, uh,
Ogbuju and stuff. Yeah.
any Fagunwa character. Oh, this
Mm.
one you have not read Fagunwa. You know, you could have the people like that. You will fit such roles. You know, warrior
Yes, I know.
hunter. You know,
And interestingly, there's an Agbako character, or there was in one of Fagunwa's. Was it Ogboju
yeah,
or something? Yeah, I think so. There was an
yeah,
Agbako role character. Rather.
yeah. I think so. Okay. You know, I'm sure he got the name from one of the characters he played. As usual with
Absolutely.
Yoruba artists, you
Yeah,
know,
an
what's it called?
antagonist. Yeah.
Tunde, what was that chap called?
Um,
Tarzan, Ogogo. They will say Ogogo,
Ogogo.
the
Yeah, Sam. Yeah.
Rainbow,
Well, well.
Oshodi, Kideko Oshodi. You
Also,
know, they will always, they will always have their names, you know, linked with, you know, the one role they played that was very popular and all that. Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, Sife, and thank you, Mr. T. And that's the end of the entertainment segment. It's it's a little bit wasn't that bad, it wasn't that sad. We thank God for life well spent. We take a short break
Hmm.
and come back with global trends. I'm sure Mr. T is ready for us. Here is Vector. He says, "What's that?" Mr. T, have you been able to access the global trends? Ah, still. Hello, Mr. T.
Hello, Mr. T.
Hello, Fudge.
Hello,
I,
Fudge.
I will. I got to that
He's not
page,
your.
and
Got to
all of a
that
sudden,
page, and all of a sudden,
the camera went off.
the camera went off. Yeah, it's my laptop. My laptop
It's
just
your
conked
laptop.
out. I don't know. I have to open on what's it called on handheld now.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know all this system. I don't understand them at all. I hope I can link back with you. I will just see what can be done. Ah, go. Mr. T-shirt ready? Mr. T? Today, not today. Ah, that one is gone off too. But smile now.
Good morning, sir. Well,
How you doing? We're having some technical challenges. Mr. T is going on and off. We are trying to. We are just on global trends since,
wow.
and now it's gone off. How are you this morning?
I'm very well, sir.
Good, good, good. Madam Ko?
They're all sleeping. I just
Okay.
we've not had light for 2 days.
2 days. Mr. T is 6 days.
Hello, boss.
Mr. T, are
Good
you
morning.
ready?
Now, all of a sudden, it's gone off again completely, Fudge. Oh, sure, I don't get that thing. Okay, just
Niger.
Mr. T, how far? If I enter, it will go up. I think it's just continue, man. God. We're having serious network issues here, and it's it's a very queer country. The other day I went to a telco to register a new SIM, and it's a large, what's it called, customer service center, very large, extensive, and all that. And at the gate, I was warned. Uh, what did I come for? I want to register a new SIM. I said, oh, sorry, the network is down. I said, wow, when will the network come back? They said they don't know. This was around 11 a.m. I said, so will it be around by 5? Say, maybe by 5. Maybe by 5. Okay, maybe before we close, it will come. So I said, so how do you? You are the network, you are the internet provider, you are the network provider. Your
provide
network
for
is
yourself.
down. You can
You can't provide for yourself.
you can't provide for yourself. So I will for me, I will with only one router and few pins, how will I be able to manage? So this is the consequence of what you are seeing today. Network is going up
Oh,
and down and all that stuff. Thank God, Mr. T, you're back. Are you ready with the global trends?
right. For every time I go on that page, I go off camera. I go off
Oh,
completely from you. So I
oh
don't
my.
know. I don't know how.
Okay, let me
Every
take it from
time
here.
now, please,
Let me
yes,
take
I
it from
think
here.
so the
You
show can go
have a
on.
life. Wow. Okay. Flash flood victims. This is from Spain. At least 158 people have died after flash floods hit southern Spain on Wednesday, particularly devastating communities in Valencia. Emergency teams are continuing to search for those missing while struggling to restore basic services as more rain is forecast to hit Spain. There's an update yesterday. The number of people who have died in Valencia region has risen to 202, Spanish authorities say. Wow, it's so bad. It's so bad that they even
It
had to
is
cancel
bad.
Valencia versus Real Madrid match. It was so
Hmm.
bad.
And the report says that the rain that actually fell for 2 days was equivalent to what they gather in the rainfall for 1 year.
Ooh,
Yes, yes. So the report said
and
so that in 2 days, they recorded rain that would have been recorded for a whole year,
hmm,
and it was really bad. It was really, really awful. My thoughts are with the families. I watched a lot of
yeah,
documentaries and clips on it overnight, and it's honestly
hmm,
really scary. The floods
wow,
came differently. It was as if they were fighting. They were actually fighting the human race, and it was a
wow.
movement that anything caught in that space of time would definitely be away, far away from where the location was. So people, still a lot being done, and
And
that's a
this is
country
Europe.
that I think has a very good response, yeah,
Yeah, emergency
to
response.
natural disasters.
Mm, mm, wow, 202.
Yeah.
Wow, we feel for them. We are with the people of Spain, especially Valencia. We
That's a
hope they will
beautiful
get
city.
lovely, lovely, lovely city.
Mm, beautiful city.
Very good. Okay, next story says Rwanda genocide. A Rwandan former doctor has been jailed for 27 years in France after being found guilty of complicity in genocide. Wow.
Hmm.
Even after how many years? Over 20
How many
years.
years?
They're still catching them. I mean, doctor, you swore to keep life, to save life, to help with life, and you're complicit in killing people wantonly, just killing like Ilya Suya, Ram, and all that. It's terrible.
Hmm.
It's terrible. Go.
Mm.
Okay. Ukrainian civilians hunted by Russian drones. Drones have changed warfare in Ukraine, with both Ukraine and Russia using them against military targets. But the BBC has heard eyewitness testimony and seen credible evidence that suggests Russia is also using drones against civilians in the frontline city of Kherson. Wow,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
wow. They're using drones to attack human beings, civilians. Wow.
But over time, Faj, the war has gone high tech. You remember there was a leader, I think one of the Hamas leaders that was brought down a few months ago. The
Yeah,
gun or the weapon that was used for him, actually, they said later that he had recorded the guy's face.
hmm,
So it's something you can deploy, and once the face has been linked to it, it will not kill anybody until he identifies the face. So, and
wow.
that can be sent to any part of the world at any time. So the war we fight these days is honestly probably a step higher or much
Hmm,
higher than the nuclear. And that is why
hmm,
everybody has been shouting, don't allow this war. Don't allow this war. It's gotten out of hand now, whether we like it or not. Parties are involved, nations are pitching sides, and the vulnerable countries, especially in Africa, will be caught napping somehow because we are still battling with insecurity issues, drought, inflation, and stuff. We don't have time for war, but somehow, if care is not taken, this thing will actually engulf the whole of the world, and it's bad.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. Here is I wish Alex was taking this. He will have been able to count the numbers here. Unpayable fine is the headline. A Russian court has fined Google 200 rubles. Two.
Yeah,
I've never heard that word before.
I haven't.
Undecillion. 200 rubles. That converted into naira. I mean, sorry, into dollars. He has 20 in front. That's the only thing I know. He has 20 in front. Billion has nine zeros, right?
I get you.
Trillion has 12 zeros. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 times 3, 33, 33
Are you
zeros.
kidding me? Are you kidding, Fudge?
33 zeros is at the back. 20 on, I mean, that's 2 on decillion. That's what they call it now. It says, continuing the story, it says much more money than there is in the world. over restriction, over restriction on Russian state media on YouTube. Oh God.
Oh my God. Come on. Come on. Where is he going to get
It
that
is not
from?
It's not mock news. Who's paying? Nobody's paying anything. The man just
It's
sat
not
down
mocking.
and said, "It's not mock news." He said,
Not
"How can you
mocking.
stop? How can you stop our state TV from showing something what they want to show on YouTube?" And he now find him something that YouTube itself, when they sell them, all the companies they
The
can't reach that
money.
money.
Oh my God.
Oh, so as the airline says, the
Russia.
fine is unpayable. It's not meant to be paid. I think it's just a symbolic thing that they are so annoyed that this is what they will charge you if you can pay. That was a nice one.
And you said it's not mock news.
It's not mock news.
I get you. I understand
It's
now.
not. Yesterday it says, a day or two ago, 7 people have been killed in 2 separate Hezbollah rocket attacks in northern Israel. The deadliest
Mm.
day of strikes in months. So Hezbollah is fighting back. It's the 2 rockets attacks within the borders of Israel, killing 7 people. When will this end? When will this end? Well, last story, we come back to Africa. And it says Africa react. Voters in diamond-rich Botswana have rejected the country's long-serving ruling party after nearly 6 decades in power. Wow. The Botswana Democratic Party has been in power since 1966. Mr. T, take that away.
After their independence, then around that time, I think it was a year they got independence, 63, from Britain.
Oh, just a couple, about 2 or 3 years after their independence, the man has been ruling.
After the
The man
independence.
that called
Okay.
this network is called Duma Boko. Not Boko Haram, Duma Boko. and he was able to upend this independent party, Botswana Democratic Party, from 1966. And that country is not better for it. It's not as if they've done something wonderfully well.
It's not. It's not. You know, the interesting thing about that country is a country blessed with diamond, and yeah, it's a country that's blessed with that mineral. And it's so sad. I think the government over time have not done what they should have done. So it's a kind of protest vote you now see. And that's why it's a lesson for all leaders, not only in Africa, all leaders. When you are there, ensure you touch lives positively. There is a huge impoverishment in that place. And there are talks about we have diamonds. So what's happening? Yeah, it's just a payback time, and people don't really care anymore about parties, about people, politicians. They don't care anymore. They care about their lives, yeah, and the lives of your children. So if your government is coming in and you are not doing what is expected of you, they just speak with their votes. That's what happens now. They don't speak with guns anymore. They speak with their votes. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And the shameless party did not see the irony in the name of their party and what they are doing. It's called Botswana Democratic Party, and you are there
Yes.
for 6 years in a
Yes. 6 years.
democratically arranged
Yeah.
environment. So it's so sad.
No,
How can you be
but Fudge, if
for
we go
all
into the classrooms, the word democracy is subjective these days. Begin to think about it. It's quite arguable. But let's go on. I'm sure. I think.
well, we've come to the end of global trends. It's short and sharp, and we'll move on till the next segment, which is the review of newspaper headlines. But before that, let's listen to Reminisce and Two Face. They say nobody knows. Nobody knows the problems we have been through. This world is a funny world, though. Basunti Salo. Today is oh, the US election starts today. I mean, the final one, the physical one. Over 60 million people have already voted. It's farcical. My takeaway from that song, Reminisce and the Two Face, is all about say the man you downgrade may be your next elector.
Hmm.
Mr. Selector, be careful how you downgrade him. Yeah, that's life. Do not look down on anyone because of what he looks like, or how he speaks, or how he behaves, or whatever criteria you are using. Don't downgrade people because you don't know what tomorrow holds. It may be your savior tomorrow. Okay, we're on to municipal headline reviews, and you can join us also. You can share your views as we read the main headlines, cover headlines, that is. The number to call is 0913 697 3485. The number is 13
Are you okay with it? Will you keep it on?
697
I can put it up.
I have about I have quite a number of cover pages here, and two stories dominate more than 60 or 70% of the cover pages. First is about the recent um, action of the federal government against detained rioters, and also the matter of Tinubu's tax reform bills. Let's start with the federal government's treason charge against uh, suspected rioters or arrested rioters. I will have it in Saturday Punch, Vanguard, Tribune, and Trust. We can trust. So let's start with the most mm, the noisiest, so to speak, and that's in Saturday Punch. Mr. T, are you with me?
I'm with you, Pudge. Let's go.
Okay. Punch leads with outrage as police arraign 32 hungry, in quote, 32 hungry children for treason. Four
Hmm.
collapsed. Minors starved for 3 days, says the defense counsel. Atiku Obi slammed Tinubu government. And then another line says NBA, SANS, Amnesty, SIRAP, allege rights abuse. That's on the front of the Sun. And Tribune says end bad governance protests. Uproar as 28 minors, 86 adults face treason charge. Some kicker says four underage protesters slump in court. Court admits each suspect to 10 million naira bail.
Hmm.
One more. Let me read the last one by Vanguard. It says end bad governance protest. Police dock minors. Four slump before arraignment. And then he has some kickers. The police, They attempted to destabilize Nigeria, incite mutiny, shouting, Tinubu must go, it is military we want. And then another line says 72 others get 720 million bail. That's 10 million each. Arraignment of malnourished minors violates their fundamental human rights. That's Huriwa tells Tinubu. And finally, social media blows up as netizens fault federal government over arraignment of minors. And there are pictures, pictures of this fellow looking very, very malnourished, really, and it's terrible picture to look at. Um, if that's not how they went in, it looks bad. And finally, Weekend Trust says end bad governance. Amnesty, Serap, lawyers oppose detention of teenage protesters. Trial stalls as four minors slump in court. Then Atiku Obi, NBA Huriwa urge immediate release of detainees. It also has terrible pictures of those four kids that slumped. And, Mr. T, the picture is gory.
I can imagine, Faj. I have not seen it, but I saw a video that's been, running around like the wind the past few hours of the arraignments in courts, how they line them up and how they, you know, you know, I don't know. This is a list of what the government needs at this hour. If I had the opportunity of actually having a chat with a communications person who works there, I think they should step out and do a positive PR image making and rebranding. The government needs to understand that a lot is wrong when it comes to, you see, human rights is just, how do you quantify human rights, Faj? How do you quantify it? Is it about the policeman who wants to arrest you and slaps you in the process or hits you in the physically on the road? Is it part of looking at it? Now, if we see a lot of that, one can sit back in this country and posit that, look, I'm not surprised that that's happening. After all, it's almost like they be an end all for it on the roads every day. And it shouldn't be. We don't need this at this hour. And I think it would have been a very good opportunity for us to address that imbroglio, say, between government and the protesters, because protests will always come. They will always arise. So what you need to do at this hour is to make friends, subtle, in quotes, make friends. You are not placating, but you are doing it sincerely. Release these guys. Many of them are, they just join the flow of the protests, many of them. And these are people that you want to correct. You know, after all, we stopped calling prisons now. What do we call them? Correctional, is it facilities or centers? Yeah. And when you use the word correctional, the man wants to go in or the woman wants to go in and come back a better person. Because where you are releasing them to is the same society where you pick them from. So for every time we think about that, we should think about how we mediate. It's a mediative role that I think the information should be talking to the presidency about at this hour. And then you look at them and you give them some bogus, is it bills or what do you call those things, Fad? Bail conditions. Where are they going to get those things from? How many sureties? Yeah, how many sureties will stand for them? You know, it's becoming a closed case already. And I believe that I'm sincerely saying it. Everybody loves human rights. Everybody understands how to respect government and stuff. But if it comes to protests, anything goes. The last protest we had, Faj, I saw people carrying placards in the north. And they couldn't even read what they were carrying. On one of the placards, Faj, I saw this. Listen to this. They should reduce the cost of weed. Government should
Yeah, I think
reduce the cost of weed.
I
I'm
heard
sure
about,
you
I
saw
heard
that
about
too. And when I
yeah,
read that, and the camera was smart enough to pick the face of the guy who was holding that protest, and I looked at him, innocent. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He didn't know
mm,
what they gave to him to hold up to.
yeah,
And that shows a lot. It's just me. Big indulgence, lack of education, being not aware of your environment, and just join the fray, enjoying your mood, enjoying your fray. And I would have believed that we would have actually held them and make them better people. It's not by that. It's now everywhere in the world is being talked about. And I said, and I still repeat it, this is not what we need at this hour. It is not what we need at this hour. And I
yeah.
mean it. It's not. It's not. It's not. No, it's not.
Well, I share your thoughts, and that is some kind of silver lining in the reports of the Saturday Times, which says reporting the same thing. Outrage greets trial of 76 youths for treasonable felony as four faint in courts. That's a kicker that gives hope. It says AGF, that's the Attorney General of the Federation, intervenes, demands case file from police. Interestingly, the presiding judge, Justice Obiora
Yeah.
Egunte, says the adults, the older people amongst them, about 44 of them, should be kept at the Kuje Correctional Center, while the kids be taken to a children's home called Botal Children's Home, pending the perfection of their ill conditions and all that. You
We're now we're
know,
now talking. We are now talking,
yeah,
Fudge. And that should have
yeah,
been that should have preceded the
yes,
actual should have their movement should have been from those places to the court.
yes, yes,
And they would have been well dressed and well presented,
yes,
presentable rather.
yes.
Ah,
There's no, I mean, law does not have. I wish Bosu was around to give us the usual.
yeah.
Law is no respecter of anyone, but humanity demands that we treat our people well. These ones, they look lost, so to speak. If you look at the picture, they look lost. They don't know what they are,
They really don't know
and
what they don't know.
they were arrested from several locations in Kaduna,
They
Kano,
just
Gombe,
join, you see, they just join
Katsina.
the fray. They join the flow of people doing it. They didn't know. They didn't know what they were doing.
The government should do something. I think that as so much backlash on the social media, and they will keep on going. You don't need all this stress. You don't need all this.
They don't what
And
now?
Richard Akinola, he wrote about a couple of weeks ago, if not a month. I think we mentioned on this program that we should be careful of how government should be careful of how they throw charges like felony, treasonable felony. I mean, treasonable felony and all that against people. Treason is a very serious matter. Very serious matter.
Yeah,
Something that to do trying to
absolutely.
overthrow the state. You know, there's a couple of words with it because I'm shouting Tinubu must go, giddy go, giddy, and all that. I don't know any better. It's not, AGF should just collect the file and do something else. Just give them some punishment, community service, and all that, and indoctrinate them, re-indoctrinate them. They need
Absolutely.
training.
It's a mind
I'm
thing
sure
now.
have any work, any job. They've been to school. They're out of school. They just need to reprogram them for the good of the nation. And these are the ones they brought out. To maybe there are others still languishing in one
Fudge,
center or the other.
Fudge, I will shock you. There are many, many others. Many others. Okay, and
Mm,
a lot is going on in correctional facilities. Yeah. Of course, Agba Jalingo. Agba fought
yeah.
a case recently, and it wasn't a case in court. He actually used every strength of his pen to fight it. He walked into one of the centers, I think in Calabar, and realized that people were malnourished. The mates there were not eating well. There were
Oh.
kwashiorkor in some cases, and the medical touch was actually not visible. And because of the strength of the way he put it, Faj, the headship of that structure made a move immediately. Heads rolled. Yes, I don't know why people did not report that. I followed that story. Yeah, we could. That means that within government, people can still listen. That place is a better shade now, by the way. And these are the things we keep talking about. These are the things we keep. Now the AGF has now requested for the file. That meant that it was all the while a police affair. Don't you think? It was all the while a police affair.
They know what they're doing. Yeah, I know the police they have overworked, but
Yeah,
too
they are
much.
doing well, but this area, there's much to
There's
be
so much they
desired.
could do. There's so much they could do better. And the system is. I know the system is. I mean, a very very poorly weighed against them and all stuff going on and all that. But ah, the the reports they have, the reports against them, the reports uh, concerning them, they're not good. They should clean up their acts. Yeah. I don't know why they leave police for to be prosecuting, as in legally. I mean, judicially to be prosecuting cases of felony. I mean, sorry, treasonable felony.
Reasonable
Uh,
felony.
that's one of the scariest crimes you could be charged with. This was, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just hungry. Oh my.
Anyway,
Okay. And another major headline, quite popular with the media today, is Tinubu's insistence that the tax reform bills, I think about three of them, must go ahead. In
yeah,
spite of the lamentation and complaints of some Nigerians. It says
yeah.
it's part of the Sunday Times. It says tax reform. Tinubu demands bill should go through legislative process. Uh, Independent says Tinubu adamant vows not to withdraw tax reforms bill from National Assembly. Uh, Tribune says why I won't withdraw tax bills. Tinubu says imputes can be made at public hearings. The Punch says tax reform. Tinubu rejects 36 governors' opposition. Insists on bill. Especially the area of VAT being derivational. That it's where
Mm-hmm.
you which makes sense, which normally makes sense. It's where the tax, I mean, the VAT is derived that will get more and all that. They say equity. They have their own argument too. And
You know,
yeah, the
you
list
know what?
of the nation,
Yeah, go ahead,
the
Fudge.
list
I'll wait for you to land.
is all about the tax. There's no issue about that felony issue and all that stuff. There's a small bit somewhere at the corner there, cannot protect. AGF intervenes, takes over Facebook, blah blah blah.
You
No, but the
see,
main point is no need to withdraw tax reform bills, says Tinubu. National Assembly best place to impute and consult further. The legislative protest, they're quoting someone from the presidency. The
uh-huh.
legislative process, which has already begun, provides an opportunity for imputes and necessary changes without withdrawing the bills from the National Assembly. Eh, that's
You
Tinubu
know,
for you.
yeah, you know something though. Um,
Mm.
I'll lay it on the table. I mean, I probably wouldn't have statistics to show, but I have been involved in holding discussions with businessmen, entrepreneurs, businessmen who have been in business, doing business in Nigeria for probably decades, And one thing they have always said, really, to me, is that when it comes to tax, right, they can get anything they want. When it comes to tax, honestly, and I have always seen a lacuna in that. I've always believed that when it comes to tax and all these tariff things are not properly managed. There's just something not sitting well, and that's the truth. So when these bills came, okay, they probably will come with intentions to sanitize that particular platform. However, again, timing is of essence. If along the line that bill came with other bills that would refocus the economy, things people would say and say, oh, wow, thank God this is happening. Oh, wow, this is happening. Area of petroleum, for example, things that are really very germane to the common man and set to improve the lives of the people. And this is part of the bills that has to do with tax and all that. Maybe I don't think people would have actually shouted this much. But in his wisdom, he brought this up. And he's saying there's no going back. For a president to be adamant, there's probably something we do not know. Okay? Because the first resentment we had was from the northern governors. And they actually said it can't work in the north. And I'm asking questions, why would you single out that this thing won't work in that area? Hey, what are we making and what are we sharing? How are we sharing these things? States that are actually knocking on doors for taxes, okay, know why they are doing it, although again, it is very unfair in so many cases. Because I can tell you that even in the state where we are, there are so many offenses you don't know about, and before you know what's happening, there's a ticket. There is a ticket for you, and you have to go and pay. And if you don't pay, there's a big problem. That is understanding how it works and letting people know where they should step and where they shouldn't step. Care must be taken in that area. And for me, in conclusion, I believe that those who work in government, who answer callings as government representatives, should also sit back and know that there's something around the tax collection processes that aren't sitting right. And if we have to get it right, we have to get it right now. But I'm saying that whilst you're getting it right, do me a lot more favor. Do a 20% for that and an 80% for bills that will attract and invest in the health of the people, that will invest in the economy generally as it affects the common man. These are things you can mix together, put them in the mix, and people will be looking at you and say, okay, and not only the bills coming up, make sure they work, because people are gradually losing patience and losing the trust they probably have in government. If government says so date is going to be so date, let that date be so. I'm looking at those clips you are reading, Faj, and I thought you would have seen something about Minister Umahi, who promises. I read that thing yesterday or day before yesterday, that all the bad roads in Nigeria will be ready for use by December. and yes, Faj, yeah. And I say to myself, it's a very risky promise. December is probably tomorrow. And the roads are really in, even Lagos Ibadan alone, there are some portions you can't drive. You go in bumps, you hit it. If your car is not steady, you are off the course. And that is the commonest for me that I apply. Now, other roads, what are the other interstate roads or state linking roads? I don't think we should be giving out a lot more of these promises, because we know at the end of the day, they are just too tight to meet. So people look at it and say, okay. The day was being said, somebody said, December, let's wait and see. Refinery will be ready on so date. Stop giving us the date. Let the refinery be ready. And yet it's not ready. The grid will be done in so date. They give the date and time and the hour and the second, and it doesn't happen. And people say they are still working. But why did you give us a date?
And the
These are
refinery.
things that
The refinery
are
will come up.
exactly, Fudge. I believe in that area. Government needs to tidy up a little bit. I know, as you said, Fudge, things are falling. Distractions are here everywhere. But hey, they are the only people we can call on. They are leaders. They signed for it. I'm sorry. And if we are not getting it, we'll be asking them. We won't ask the man on the street. We have to hit them. Yeah, that's the truth. So,
Thank you, Mr. T.
yeah.
Thank you, Mr. T. Luckily, we have Bosun in the house. Good morning, Bosun
Bosunzin.
Oshifora again. Uh,
Good morning. Good morning.
I don't know if
Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
I don't know if you've been listening on the radio while you are off this
Yes,
platform. Yes, I would like to comment. The two most popular issue has to do with the um, treasonable felony charges for some minors, hungry minors, so to speak, according to Punch. And the AGFs, they are giving 10 million bail condition. And a lot of people, social media have been agog with all kinds of backlash and all that. Even Obi Atiku, Ezekwesili, a number of others have lambasted the federal government for arraigning these kids, hungry looking kids, if you see that. So that's one. Then the second one is about the tax reforms. I remember we spoke about that. I think the reforms are now, the bills are now in the National Assembly. There have been uproar, especially from the 36 state governors. And the federal government says, no, let the National Assembly deal with it. If you want to make amendments, do it there. That is not withdrawing it. Those are the two things on our plate this morning. We'd like to hear your comments.
Yeah, I listened. I listened to Uncle T. Fantastic, brilliant submission. I can only add a line of nobody is opposed to tax where there's a corresponding action from the tax collector regarding the welfare of the people. If I'm paying tax and the roads are not good and all the necessary basic amenities are not working for me, which the tax is supposed to take care of, no matter the kind of reform, go and bring the reform from heaven. It's not going to work. It's just a matter of time. People, there's a limit to which you can push people. Then forgetting the fact that so many things are being taxed already, from the petroleum to the food we buy to almost the air we breathe. I think it's about the air we breathe that is not taxed in this country. And if you actually rate it, you can see that in some way the tax for breathing air is being collected. So my simple submission is where there is no corresponding action on the welfare of the people by the tax collector, every tax reform will fail. The president is an American trained person. He believes in tax and he's used it in Lagos. We know his antecedents. But I think he should be reminded that Nigeria is a different ball game from Lagos. So whatever he wants to do, like he said, maybe the legislature should tweak it to fit into every facet of the country. But if he thinks it's going to work like it worked in Lagos, he might need to have a second look at what he's done. On the other one, the trial of the minors, it's an unfortunate. It just shows a disconnect between a judicial system and the realities of our times. Number one, by the child rights law, even where you are trying a child, number one, let me just put it straight. Children are not supposed to be tried in the open court. Fundamental universal law. Minors are not supposed to be tried even where the minor is being tried it's there in the Child Right Act. Even where the minor is being charged for conspiracy or whatever thing, along with an adult. The adult will be tried in the open, the children will be tried in the chambers. What happened yesterday is a big disconnect between the practice and the law.
Oh.
That's one. That's why you saw the AG quickly stepping in. As for the
Mhm.
bail condition, one of the things we also need to understand is that when a bail is given for 10 million, it doesn't mean you have to drop 10 million naira.
Yeah, cash, yeah.
What happens is that where the person jumps bail, that's the amount that will be paid by whoever
Mm.
stood short for that person.
Mm.
Now, but even at that, these are minors. All those conditions shouldn't have been put in the open. And then a major problem for me is that the prosecutors are looking at it from the angle of treason. I saw one or two
Mm.
comments that said anybody any age could be tried for treason. What they fail to realize is that a system that could throw up that amount of young persons who ignorantly started flying flag of Russia. That's the reason why they're there. It shows that
Mm.
there's adequate care for this set of people.
Yes.
Now, you now pick them for that offense, left them for 3 months. That is a system that is highly disconnected from reality. Now, at that
Yeah.
point, the entity that is that stepped in yesterday should have stepped in from the beginning. All right.
Absolutely.
And then look at this thing that see these are minors. What do you do? How do we fix them? From there, you have to create a system or a training system for them where you reorientate and rehabilitate them. They acted in ignorance. You could come out and say everything is not about the law. You can come out and say ignorance of the law is not an excuse. That is for textbook and classrooms. In this case, this is a sensitive situation.
Mm.
And then what is the plight of these children? You put them in prison, or call it correctional center, call it any name you like. Nigerian prisons are not correcting anything in any human.
Again.
Now put this innocent kid there 3 months. I can tell you these boys are worse off mentally today
Yeah.
than
When they
three
came
months ago.
in.
What they
Yeah.
have left, these boys are a big threat to this nation. And then they have been put in a situation where officially they have been made to hate this country because they
Mm.
see a country that doesn't care for them. How those in leadership feel that these people don't see what they do is just amazing. The same country that wants to buy a private jet for the vice president out of 9 fleet of private jets for the presidency, the same country that wants to build a house of over 150 billion for the vice president has not made any provision for even prison inmates who are hungry. Children were
Mm.
sitting on a table. And I just pray that they get it right. Because if things begin to go like this, people are beginning to officially have serious hatred for the government. All I mean, I know we're on air, but the government should be careful so that there won't be a galvanizing force
Mm.
that will
Mm.
all this anger. They might not be able to contain it. So
Oh.
I think
Mm.
the government should sit down and rethink all these things. I've seen a lot of PR going up and down. It's not about PR. It's about a set of angry people versus the government. The government may not be able to win the war.
In
That's
the
just my.
wall.
Ooh. Hard
Yeah.
talk from Boso
Yeah.
Shifura and Mr. T. The government
Yeah.
isn't getting it right. Yeah, there's a lot of frustrations, a lot of
Yeah.
disconnect between the people and the government, especially as things are not rosy economically for a lot of people, for a large number of people. And actions of governments, either overtly or covertly, should be seen as being sensitive to
Mm-hmm.
the situation on ground, to what people are going through. A lot of people have lost their jobs, they have lost their homes, they have lost their livelihood. Some have lost their loved ones. There are a lot of deep rooted pains around and about us today. So what we say and how we act, the kind of policies we throw out, the kind of charges we give, the kind of actions that we make in the public domain, it should be weighted. It should be weighed against common sense and compassion. You know, well, thank you, gentlemen. I just want to give us one line before I move into rewind. I mean, let's rewind. I want us to look at the state of the nation as it is. I know that a lot of people are planning against 2027. I know that today, I think it's today, America is going to vote officially one on one. I know that Botswana have removed a fixed tight government from 1966 till now. I know that politically and economically and even militarily, actions are going on all over the world, and Nigerians are not left out of it. So when you look at the state of the nation, and I wrote a piece this morning. I mean, I hope it's out in the newspaper about how the next Christmas will look like. The
Hmm.
kind of Christmas I grew up with in the 70s, late 60s.
Oh,
In the Butemeta, we have Gareta, we have you
Clarita.
don't even feel so much fun, joy, and happiness. And it wasn't as if the money was plenty, but you didn't feel a lack, sort of. You didn't feel that you were poor. You didn't feel that because I'd never thought that there was a day I had to go and sleep without food or having to think about no food in the
Did you
house
say
tomorrow.
yes?
How will Christmas be? How will New Year be? How will this year be for a lot of Nigerians? You know, I want to maybe to try and channel the thoughts of the government, what they should be thinking about in
Hmm.
terms of welfare of the people in days ahead.
Hmm. Oh,
It's
that's
predictable.
the top. Well, that's the top. Yeah, Bosun. Yeah, you were going.
Yes, it's no, sir. Go ahead, sir.
No, you see, Fudge, my problem is this. Yeah, just as I say, I keep saying on many stations I have worked and I'm still working. When it comes to analysis, questions are who is listening to you. Somebody says no, whether they listen or not, keep talking your stuff. Yeah, you have touched a very sore point, a sore area for me today. Our growing up were just different from what is happening now. And I always
Mm,
ask this question: what a 16-year-old boy, 1 6, is going through now at his age, a 60-year-old man, 60, when he or she was 16, didn't experience a quarter of what that boy is experiencing now. If you think about it, it is the signs of the times. What the economy and the structures have brought on us today has affected this present generation, and the future will be affected compared to what we experienced when we were 16 years of age.
mm,
We had vibrant local government structures, Fudge. Vibrant local government structures, I will tell you the truth. They developed communal interests. I've said it on this program before and I keep repeating it. I grew up in a predominantly Muslim Christian environment. Most of my friends today are from the other divide of the religion, and we are still very close. I got to know a bit about their religion, and they got to know more about mine as well because seasons bring us together. We share church
yeah.
sessions. I share mosque sessions with them, and we are all happy. And Christmas, you touched about, Fudge, was seasonal. You could eat in anybody's house. Your friends will sleep overnight in your house. Your parents know them.
Mhm.
Now, it's a different thing. Insecurity has come to play. People can't even walk out at some 6 in the evening time any longer. Your kids you must see them before, and they must sleep in your hand. These are those. Now the fun is gone. The fun of growing up, we have lost it. And why? Government financial policies and economic policies. I'm not talking about this government alone, and neither am I making case for it. But we have lost it right from that time. How would we now begin to argue that there is no food and we are still buying private jets? The way Boston touched it knocked my head. I have a slight headache. And that's the truth. Now, this is a warning sign. Let me shock you. Whether we like it or not, there's going to be, is it an implosion now, an explosion? World affairs is not going rosy. America, with the current election coming up, they also know that all the programs and policies their would-be presidents are saying, okay, can be argued and debated and thrown back at them. And that's what they are doing because they are seeing the future. Now, every wise government will begin to restructure its economic policies. When that external blow comes, and then war, Ukraine, Russia, you see these Ukraine, Russia, North Korea people, they want to cause severe katakata, including Israel and Hamas. Big things, big challenges are coming. I'm not a soothsayer, but a government that is not economically structured, serving its people's interests and providing food at their time to the table will be rocked when these things change the world order. When the world order changes, government will shake because people will begin to go and revolt. And a bit of what Botun said should not be thrown away because it is about the people. You are in government because of me. Yeah. Let me hit it for you. You are in government because of our children. You are in government because of their own children too, and the future. So we have to do something about it. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. We look at petroleum. What do we want to discuss? Is it atarodo in the market? Or cucumber? Somebody said recently, it is cheaper to import grains from abroad than to grow and sell in Nigeria. Grains that we eat, that we eat. It's cheaper. Get the imported ones. People will even tell you, they will tout it, they tell you, they flaunt it by, you have to. We have to do some rethinking. I know it's not a good sign, a good time, but we just have to think out of the box. Get out of the box. People have to, chairs have to roll, heads have to roll. Fresh heads must be brought in. Because the law of diminishing returns just happens. It happens not only with age, with the sequences of time and the situations that surround us. That's for me. That's what government needs to do. Think about the people, and we will be happy. Yeah.
Quickly, sir, if I may add.
Go ahead, sir.
If I may add.
Please do. Fudge. Fudge I don't think Fudge is listening to us. But go ahead, Bosun. I think we are on.
Okay. Basically, the December or the Christmas, it's except something cataclysmic happens, it's just going to be as bleak as it can be. That's basically what this is going to look like.
Wow.
What I'll say is very simple. Look at the number of people asking you for money on a daily.
Yeah.
Like by Christmas. So that's basically what the Christmas is going to be like. Maybe some of us will run away because it's tough out there. Now, what I tell people is that people will work. Before, when people come and ask you or beg you for money, you say, go and work. People who work are now begging for money. Because what they earn from their work is literally not enough to take care of them. So that's where we found ourselves. I don't know if you have observed this. If you drive in the past 1 week, there's literally nobody on the road, or there's literally nobody on the road. The roads are
Hmm.
free. I went to Lekki yesterday, and in less than 20 minutes, I was back in Sunday.
Hmm.
And I don't
No
see
traffic.
there's no traffic, nothing, nobody on the road. In fact, I know a friend called me and said that what commercial buses do now is that they literally wait at bus stops until passengers. Normal commercial buses that just go on their own, what they
They
call
take
sole.
off. Yeah.
Sole, just they wait until they have enough passengers, no matter how you shout, cry. So that's where we have found ourselves. I think government needs to brace up, because I think a takeaway for me from what you said, sir, what Uncle T said, is that government is about the people. It's not about those in government. It's about the people. So I think this is one thing they have forgotten, because if you start bringing obnoxious laws that are anti-people, then who are you there for? The same people you're supposed to save. You're bringing reforms that would kill them. When you finish them, who are you going to rule over? So I
Hmm.
think we need to find those in government, that government is about the people. You remember when the campaign between Bush Senior and
Hmm.
Clinton came
Clinton.
in. You remember the slogan for Clinton, because Bush was talking about everything. He was doing war. And the economy was going down. Clinton won with just one slogan. They had to write. It was on all billboard that it's the economy. They put high pressure and they put stupid. Like,
Exclamation.
it's stupid. Like, Mr. Man, you have forgotten. It's about the economy. You're doing something outside what you have been sent. And that
Yeah.
was how Clinton came in. So
Clinton
I
came in.
think we need to remind the government that it's the people, it's the people, it's the people, not you. Any reform that is not going to make the immediate, present, and future life of the people better is no reform. So I don't know. God will help us. But it's
Mm-hmm.
what's
Man.
painful is the fact that people identified with the president thinking he knows the struggle. That's the painful takeaway from there. They believe that the president is somebody who they identified with him because they felt he would solve those things. But
Hmm.
unfortunately, he hasn't. Maybe he's overwhelmed. Maybe he met more than he bargained for. Unfortunately, he hasn't. He hasn't. And it's not looking like there's that capacity to do it. That's the painful takeaway. And we just hope that it turns out.
Man. Yeah. Oh, hello, Fudge.
Hello,
Oh,
Mr. T. It's my laptop that
that's
is
what.
messing up. But
Oh,
so
I guess
sorry, so
so.
sorry, so
Problem.
sorry. We are now on Let's Rewind. We are playing Conco below. So I've gone below since I didn't hear from you people.
Are you
So
kidding?
today,
Oh, Fudge, that was the best analysis. Oh,
oh my.
oh, yeah, that was the
I
best.
missed it for that. No, we're going to review
Oh,
Christmas next week. Also, we are going to review. We are going to review Christmas next week.
oh. So it was
It's,
a private show so far. It was a private show we were having.
it was, I've been playing music for about 3 minutes. I didn't hear anything. Oh
Are you
my,
kidding?
it's so sad.
It's fine. It's your laptop, you said so.
I don't know what's wrong with it today. 2 times they are shut down.
Mm.
Charging
That's the
in the hospital. Oh,
But a brief of what Bosun said. Are we back on the airline?
yeah, but we have changed the segment.
Oh,
oh,
fantastic. Okay, let's go on then. All right.
We are
Okay.
now on Let's Rewind, and we are playing Lagbaja's Conco below now.
Okay.
I
Okay.
have
All right.
um, I have Africa China letter to president, San Sultan mathematics Jabajantis, and Azados. We just have about 8 more minutes to go. So I'll use that to wrap up.
Yeah.
If you have anything to
Okay.
add, I'll flow with you. Well, we can even transfuse Lagbaja's music, Ekpade Minisali, and ask the government to Pade all in December. Let December be good, unlike but this prediction that it won't be that bleak. Oh. Please meet us below and let's have fun this Christmas. Let's have joy. And that was Lagbaja Konko below. The next song is African China. And it's a letter to Mr. President in the year 2000. It's the same letter that we are writing now. Food no day, water no good. Is it complaint that African China wrote 20, 24 years ago? We are still writing. We are still writing the same letter.
The words on the marble. Beautiful song, nice composition. It's everlasting for me.
Yeah. The
Reggae
dollar
rhythm.
forsake our naira.
Yes, forsake the naira.
Rice don't turn to gold.
Right.
That was 74 years ago. It is
Yeah.
now diamond. If you talk, you go buy. If you don't talk, you go buy. So Google talk and die. Mr. President should read this letter. It's not too old. It's 24 years old. It looks like it was written yesterday or early this morning.
Yeah, beautiful song. Beautiful.
No day, water no day.
Captures
And
the moment.
wow. You see our
Going
economy don't back down.
yeah, going 8 days, no light where I stay. And we're on band A. You see. Well, it's fine.
It's almost eerily prophetic. Is it prophetic or predictive?
It is predicting.
Anything it said that was bad in 2000 is worse now. Wow. He say, who don't know now go know now. That now the real hunger go show. Hey, man. The man that wanted to be a doctor, Niger told him to conductor.
Conductor.
So, his dream was to be a medical doctor. He was turned to a bus conductor. But that's the reality of our life now. That's what we live through now. Even worse, even worse. He wasn't even talking about Boko Haram in that period. I think that this this music was written in 2010, 2000.
It was in 2000.
Wow.
It was in
You would think it
2000.
was written last year or this year.
Yeah, it was in 2000.
Wow, 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 wow. That's a reality check from African China called
Mhm.
Letter to Mr. President. The penultimate song for us is by another very sound and perceptive artist. I loved him. Well, I said that because he's no more with us. Sam Sultan with Mathematics. Thank you, Segobe. Network is horrible, so we go off YouTube now.